Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, and Ohio University Lancaster.
Hi, and welcome to Fairfield Today. This is Temple Custer Montanez from Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And I am lucky enough to be spending my morning at Art and Clay on Main and Square 7 Coffee House. We are located at 150 West Main Street in downtown historic Lancaster. And I know we've had Art and Clay on the show before, but this is a really special time to be here. And the reason is that we are celebrating a 5-year anniversary, which is a very exciting time. With me, I have the Director of Business Development, David Uhl. Hi, David.
It's going down, Tim.
Oh, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So tell me, 5-year anniversary. That's an exciting time.
Coming up. It's going to be fantastic. So Art and Clay's been around for longer than 5 years. When we purchased it from the previous owner, I think they'd been about 10 years in business. But Fairfield DD has had Art and Clay now for 5 years. It was 5 years, around May or so. And so in July, on the 20th, we start a week of anniversary festivities. It's going to be unbelievable. For example, every lunchtime during the week, starting on July 20th, we have music from 11:30 to 1.
Oh, fantastic. And that's before the festival or leading up to the festival?
Leading up to the festival. And so starting Monday, July 20th, we have Zane Harshaw, who's been down here before, both on his own and with his group Blue Spectrum, an unbelievable blues guitarist. He'll be down here from 11:30 to 1 for lunch on Monday the 20th. Then on the 21st, we've got a local group called Tanessa George and Dave, and they play acoustic guitar and sing, so we're excited about that. Wednesday is a local guy named Greg Shively, and then Thursday we have someone who I'm not remembering right now. Do you know who our Thursday person is?
I don't, but we'll figure it out and let you know.
We'll figure it out. So
but how exciting to have live music every day leading up to the festival. So in a sense, Art and Clay is just extended the Lancaster Festival, which is also something to celebrate.
That's right, yeah, by a week. Dan Neely is Thursday by a week.
Oh, we love Dan. Sorry, Dan, we love you.
Yeah, we love Dan. That was my bad. So 4 days of music from 11:30 to 1, and then in addition we have specials, and so $5 lunch. You can come down, sandwich, chips, and a drink for $5.
And entertainment.
Yeah, right, at lunch.
Can't get that with a Happy Meal.
You can't. And then also $5 ceramics as well. So if you want to come down and paint something, we've got a shelf of $5 ceramics that you can come and paint. It's going to be a fantastic week. Of course, all of that is leading up to then Friday the 24th, which is Art Walk. And so Art Walk in downtown Lancaster, we'll have about 3,000 people through this building. That night, we've got Kelly Vaughn here live on stage for the evening. And so our 5-year celebration and anniversary really leads into Art Walk as sort of a capstone for us, really just sort of the beginning of the festival, but sort of the end of our anniversary week here. And so we invite folks to come down and check it out, grab some lunch. We're proud that we can keep things as local as we do, both with our musicians and the acts that we have coming, and then also certainly when we talk about the sandwiches and things like that, Bay's Meats and Cheeses, and certainly our great coffee from Stoff's. And so come down, support local, shop downtown, and enjoy some great entertainment during our 5-year celebration here.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We keep saying the word downtown, and, you know, Art and Clay's really been through some changes in the last 5 years. Predominantly, even the fact that the downtown has changed so much. So how have you noticed things changing, and not just at Art and Clay, but in downtown in general over the last 5 years?
Yeah, and it really is interesting to think about. And so one of the things that we try to do from the DD side of things is figure out what the social return on investment for something like Art and Clay Square 7 would be. We know that there's one there, and so we've really been working to try to talk with community leaders about what their perception of the social return on investment that Art and Clay is, and what we're hearing a lot, and you're going to hear from a couple of those leaders here in just a few minutes, but what we're hearing from them is that Art and Clay was on the forefront of the revitalization movement downtown when John decided, our superintendent decided, that this couldn't go away and that we had to purchase it and we had to be a part of it and we had to make it into what it is. There wasn't a whole bunch going on down here. And in fact, when I was the executive director of Destination Downtown Lancaster, Art and Clay's grand opening and ribbon cutting was one of the first ones that I attended 5 years ago. And so it's been interesting to watch now all that's happening as we think about the new restaurants that are in town, the new retail that's happening on North Columbus.
It's such an exciting time. Such an exciting time.
We certainly don't suggest that we made any of that happen, but we were a part, and we were one of, I think, the ones, and there were others have been down here longer than us, but we were on that leading edge of seeing a lot of this happen, and it was very, very cool, and so downtown is really coming alive and seeing a renaissance, and I think that we're almost to the top of the hill. I think in the next couple years we're really going to see even more than we thought, even more than we imagined happen in downtown with things like the Mid-Off and the Columbian and some of these other things that are now in the works that are going to take a period of years. But, when you talk to downtown revitalization experts, that's the way it works. It happens over years and years, not over weeks and months. And so it's very exciting to see this. It's very exciting to be a part. And we're glad to be able to be here to provide a pretty cool opportunity for the public to gather and meet and socialize and hear great entertainment, to be creative themselves with our ceramics or with glass fusion or whatever the case may be. It's a pretty cool place to be a part of.
Now, for people who may not be familiar with the concept of a social purpose enterprise, explain briefly how all of that works and what it means that Fairfield DD operates Art and Clay and Square 7, because a lot of people may not have made that connection.
Sure. Well, social purpose enterprise really has more than just the purpose of making money or generating revenue. Certainly that's one of the things that we try to do down here, generate revenue. But it's really a social purpose enterprise is a business with a twist. And so for us, our social purpose is training and employing individuals who have developmental disabilities. It's why we exist. Otherwise, I don't think Fairfield DD would be involved in a business like this. If it were just to run a business, that private sector.
And one thing I find interesting is that you have on staff currently 4 permanent employees that have disabilities, and also you serve as an intern training ground as well with Job Fusion.
Yeah, that's right. And we've really gone back and forth with how that model was going to work. We started out and it was all employment, and then we moved more to this internship model where for 10 or 12 weeks folks can come, and for us it's all about transferable skills. And so I don't care if an intern leaves here and knows how to make a mocha chai latte, soy, whatever.
Do you know how to make one of those?
I don't, no. I can barely put the coffee in the cup. We leave that to the trained professionals here at Square 7. However, what we're trying to do is just make sure that they leave with some transferable skills in both the retail and restaurant sector so that they can go into the community and get a job in one of those areas if they would choose to do so. So it's customer service, it's how would we run a register, it's how do we make change, it's how do we fill orders, it's how do we greet someone when they come in. Those transferable customer service skills that you're going to use anywhere. So the internship program is very cool because every 10 or 12 weeks we have someone new who's coming, working their way through, learning these things, and then our employment arm Job Fusion is working with them to try to find out what might be next for them, some sort of job in the community. So it's very exciting. And as you mentioned,
and you've had a success rate, if I'm correct. We just had one of your employees that just got a job out in the community at a local restaurant.
That's right. Yeah, I need to go back and look at the statistics, but about 85% of the folks who have come through here are employed someplace or still in, we could say, some job development activities. They're still learning and growing perhaps somewhere else. And so
well, that's something to celebrate right there.
It's very, very cool. And like I said, it's something that's very interesting and very, I don't know how to say, it's amazing to be a part of what happens down here, because when you come in, certainly there's all this cool stuff to do. But again, that's a part of why we're here. Certainly that's why we're here for the public. But from the DD side of things, for Fairfield DD, we're here to train and employ individuals so that they can, and we can't hire everyone who comes through. As you said, we have 4 employees on staff here. But the interns that come, as they have opportunity to go out into the community and work someplace, wherever they want, whatever their dream is, our folks at Job Fusion really help to try to get them there. And it's great that this can be a part of that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know in the Fairfield County DD mission statement, one of the key components is to contribute to the vibrancy of downtown. And as you touched on, Art and Clay and Square 7 has certainly been able to do that. We're going to talk in just a moment with some other folks that have some input on that topic as well. Hi, it's Temple Custer Montanez, and I am sitting with Mitzi Clark Niswanger. Mitzi is the general manager of Art and Clay and Square 7 at 150 West Main in downtown Lancaster. Mitzi, you've been here for quite a while now.
Just about 2 years.
Oh, that's so you've kind of really hit the ground running, and
We've hit the ground running recently, just the last few months that I've been general manager. So I originally took on the role of manager in the Square 7 coffee house, and recently in the last 2 months become general manager of Art and Clay, 151 West Main.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Mitzi, tell me a little bit over the last 2 years how you've seen the business change and where you see it going in the future.
Well, we're constantly adding new events. So, and we're building on the momentum that has been built over the last few years, and we are seeing the business continue to grow. And as we have a lot of events that we have become a part of with Destination Downtown Lancaster, as they reach out to the community, and that kind of coincides with our mission to bring vibrancy to the downtown and to the community. So we have jumped in on some of those events, like the sidewalk sales on Saturday and the cinema Saturday evenings that they do. So we have added in some parties to kick off those movie nights. So at 6 o'clock we'll do an event with kids karaoke and painting with a theme that coincides with the movie that they're doing that evening. And then as soon as our event is over, then families can go on uptown to the movie. In addition, we have increased our classes. We're doing a lot more canvas painting classes, ceramic painting classes, because we've seen over the last 2 years that those have been successful, very well received by the community.
That's interesting, because I think a lot of people think of Art and Clay as a place to come paint pottery, and I know you're really trying to get the word out that it's more than that, and that you can come in here and have a cup of coffee and listen to live entertainment, but you've really taken the special classes and run with those as well.
We have found that both adults, males and females, and children are enjoying these more structured classes. So we are just trying to constantly develop new ideas that are engaging in theme and also in curriculum. And we use the feedback that we get from the clients that come in for these classes to build for the next class. And when we see something that's popular and well received, for instance, right now owls are really hot. So we're seeing in ceramics that owl mugs and owl bowls and owl plates, owl banks are selling out, and that we're constantly ordering those. So we transfer that into owl-themed painting classes, canvas painting classes, and by and large they sell out. So we're listening to what the community wants and what our customers like, both in the studio during business hours and after hours with parties and special events. And it's being very well received, and we're having a lot of fun developing those things.
Well, and I think it's proof positive as well that you've expanded your hours in the last couple years. I think when you first started, you were open 3 or 4 days a week, and now how often are you open?
Well, we are open 7 days a week, and we've toyed around with the hours a little bit, trying to figure out what the clients want and what is received well. And what we're seeing is our live music Friday nights were so popular that we increased our hours. I think we were initially open at 8 o'clock, and then we bumped it to 9 o'clock, and we're now open till 10 o'clock. And we, on most Fridays, especially in spring and summer, we have our doors open, we have live music going, we have people coming from the restaurants across the street and walking down the sidewalk from things at the grandstand and coming in and out. And we've had our biggest numbers as far as business, and so we've been able to increase our staff presence here. because of the increased business, and just continue with the mission to add to the vibrancy downtown. We're seeing quite a lot of growth up and down the sidewalks and in and out of our business and other businesses up and down the street, and it's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's very exciting. If people want to know more information on how to find out about classes or all the goings on down here at 150 West Main, where do they go?
Well, we have a Facebook page, and we post to that multiple times throughout the week, and that is Art and Clay. And then we also have a Square 7, a Facebook page that we post to on a regular basis. We have a website, 150 West Main, and that you will find things from Art and Clay, from Square 7, from Blue Shoe Arts. You will see special events coming up, classes. You'll see specials that we have for lunch and for ceramic painting. And you can also get information about kids' summer camps, which have been a big hit again this summer, something that we've done the last several summers and have continued this summer. And all that information is on our website. We also have flyers right here in the store that you can get at the counter at any time that talks about everything going on within 150 West Main, including the Blue Shoe Arts.
Fantastic. Well, Mitzi, thank you. You're doing an incredible job down here. I know you've got a lot on your plate. We appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Hi, and welcome back to Fairfield Today. We are down at Art and Clay and Square 7 Coffee House at 150 West Main Street, which happens to be, amongst other things, a place for employment in the community for adults with disabilities. Two of our star employees are with me today. I'm very excited to introduce. Why don't you tell me your name?
Ryan Holiday.
Ryan Holiday. All right, Ryan. Now, how long have you been working here?
I work 4 days a week, 2 hours from 8:30 to 10:30.
Yeah? How do you like it so far?
I like cleaning tables, chairs, sweep the floors, mop the floors. I clean the windows, everything. I gotta work every day. I gotta get paid. And you can get a lot of things to get the job done and get all the like to work every 4 days a week. And Coach Terry loves it.
All right. Great job. Now, over here next to Ryan is Brandon. Brandon, tell us your last name.
Muck.
Brandon Muck. Okay, now you're pretty well known around here at Art and Clay, right? You've worked here for some time, and you're also a blue shoe artist in addition to that, right? Brandon, what makes you excited to come to work every day?
Working really hard, seeing all the customers, seeing great friends, just great workers.
Oh, that's great. Now tell us a little bit about what you do here, because my understanding, Brandon, is that the ship would not run if you weren't on board. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. What all do you do here?
I sweep, stocking, dipping in back, helping out the coffee bar, helping everything out.
Yeah, and what some people may not know is that every ceramic that's painted at Art and Clay has to be dipped in an outer dip, and that is a pretty complicated process. And then they're put into the kiln, which you load the kiln, is that correct? Then that kiln needs unloaded 2 days later, and every single piece in the kiln has to be sanded, sorted, and bagged. Now, who does that, Brandon?
All me.
All you. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. How long have you been here? Do you know?
2 years.
2 years. And you are also a graduate of the Project Search program, right? Fantastic.
It was great.
Yeah. So you guys think that this is a type of work you'd like to do when you're older?
Yeah, I'm 33 years old. I work in the class of 2004 from Lancaster High School.
Woo, go Gales. I love it. I love it. And Brandon, how about you? You think you like working in the public sector?
I love it.
Yeah. Like working with the customers?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we sure thank you, gentlemen, for all the work you do down here at Art and Clay, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Fairfield Today. I'm Temple Custer Montanez with the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and I'm lucky enough to be spending my morning at 150 West Main Street in downtown Lancaster. 150 West Main Street houses Art and Clay, Blue Shoe Art Studio, and the Square 7 Coffee House, and the whole entity is celebrating a 5-year anniversary this week of being downtown, and I know we're all really excited. But with me today, I have Dave Scheffler and Leslie Hansen from Destination Downtown Lancaster, which, if you're not familiar with Destination Downtown Lancaster, is an unbelievable organization, nonprofit organization that, much like Fairfield Board of Developmental Disabilities, contributes to the vibrancy of downtown. I think our mission statements are pretty similar. Would you say, Dave?
Absolutely. We wanted to say, catch the vibe, come downtown.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. How are you, Leslie?
Yeah, fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. So as Fairfield DD celebrates success in downtown, what does that mean for you, and how do you feel that Art and Clay and Square 7 and Blue Shoe have played a vital role in the very obvious recent burst of activity in downtown?
Well, I'd say, first of all, that Art and Clay and Fairfield DD made a strong commitment to downtown and believed in downtown before anybody else did. They were kind of the first anchor down here that was an attractive spot for families to come, and continues to be even more so.
Right, right. And what does that mean? Do you think that have you seen a real impact of people following suit, so to say?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you just stand here in the front of 150 West Main Street and look across the street, you have Ale House, Table One, Signature Restaurant. On one side, the Columbian, the Mid-Off on the other side. We've got millions and millions of dollars of investment here surrounding this anchor in downtown.
That's fantastic. Now, Leslie, I know you work real closely with the folks at Art and Clay for a lot of special events in downtown Lancaster. Tell me a little bit about what that's been like working with these folks.
From the inception of since I started working here, Art and Clay has always embraced its role in the downtown revitalization process and continues to always provide fun, fresh, creative ideas, and provides an all-inclusive atmosphere, and has just always been a team player. And those things have really contributed to the consistency of our events. They've always gotten on board, and everyone's always great and a lot of fun to work with. And we just really appreciate having these great team players.
That's fantastic. One thing I think that's interesting about Art and Clay and Square 7 is that they have the unusual ability to bring families downtown, which I know is something that you try and cater to a lot with your Friday night movies and a lot of your special events. Do you see that more and more families coming downtown?
All the time. This Saturday is the Saturday Cinema. Friday Night Bandstand brings a lot of families down. The parks that we have downtown. And, a lot of times they come here and then they've spread out to the other venues that we have.
Oh, great. How about you, Leslie?
Yeah, so this month will be the first time that Art and Clay on Main, again, always, offering new services, is teaming up with the Saturday Cinema and offering free activities before the movie begins. And again, that just shows how they continually improve and add things. And I think that's just going to draw more families, not only to our cinema, but then to the Art and Clay on Main. And then, people will hear about it, come back again and again.
That's fantastic. And there's so many neat things going on. And if you are not familiar with Destination Downtown, your website is?
DestinationDowntownLancaster.com.
.com, not .org. Okay, fantastic. Well, I thank you both for being with us today and for all the support that you've given to Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities over the years. I know we value our partnership with you greatly, and hopefully you can say the same. And I have to say real quickly, now, Dave, you also are a part-time resident of Charleston, South Carolina, is that right? Okay. And yet, you come back to downtown Lancaster, so that's a good thing, right?
Fortunately or unfortunately, we get a lot of ideas and reinforcement about what can happen downtown from Charleston. So we bring ideas back here, and I become a constant pain in the rear end to some people downtown, I'm sure.
Well, you're being a constant pain in the rear end has really paid off downtown, so I think it's all a good thing. Would you agree? You're the second hand, would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
See, if she says so, then that's a good thing.
Well, congratulations on your anniversary. We're looking forward to the celebration.
Thank you, and we hope that all of you will be down here all week long to celebrate with Art and Clay on Main, Square 7 Coffee House, and Blue Shoe Art Studio as we celebrate 5 very successful and rewarding years in downtown Lancaster. I'm Temple Custer Montanez for Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and we'll see you next time.
Interface Video presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, and Ohio University Lancaster.